Shalom, everybody. What's going on? This is me, Trayvon Jones. I'm really disturbed. I'm really disturbed because society, we already know, is all fucked up. Society is really, really fucked up. There was a time, when I was growing up, I feel like my generation is the last of the Mohicans when it comes to learning respect, on how to respect your elders and things of that nature. I feel like my generation and the generation before me are the last of the Mohicans when it comes to parents and grandparents, aunties and uncles teaching the younger generation about respect to older adults, to older people. This generation is just so damn disrespectful. It's just beyond me. It's just so many times that I've seen children talk to adults any kind of way. When I was growing up, I was always taught, by my parents and by teachers and things of that nature. You say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, please, thank you, yes, when you're called, it's yes, or huh, or something like that, not what, and shit like that. These kids today are just so damn disrespectful. I remember one particular time I was just simply, running an errand. I had parked my car. And when I came back, someone had blocked me in. Well, the person that blocked me in was a young lady, pretty lady, young lady. And I knocked on her window. I said, "Excuse me, sweetheart, can you move your car? I'm getting ready to, to come out." She didn't say anything. She didn't respond, but I'm assuming, okay, she heard me. She looked at me when I was talking to her, and she just turned her head and just kept doing whatever it is she was doing. And I got back in my car and I'm waiting. And I'm like, this little bitch ain't moving. I wasn't gonna get back out the car and ask her again. So me being the type of person that I am, I just simply started up my car and I moved her car out of my way. So now she's pissed, and now she's telling me she's gonna get her brother that's in the that's in the dispense, in the this the area where we were going, the dispensary, and she's going to let him know what I did, and I'm simply saying, you go right ahead and let them know. You let your brother know exactly what it is, but I'm gonna let you know right now. Whatever I do to him, I'm gonna do to you too. Since you started it, whatever it is that I do to him, I'm gonna make sure that I don't leave your ass out of it either. You are involved just as much as you want to put him in it. You're just as involved. Because if he's stupid enough to protect you after you did some dumb shit like that, then it is what it is. But just know I'm going to get you too. And I made that very clear. And she looked at me and she knew I was serious as fuck, and she got the fuck away from me. But just the nerve and just the disrespect. I could never get away with no shit like that when I was a child. I would have got my ass kicked. I'd have got my ass beat if I would have talked to an adult like that or behaved in that manner or just whatever. I was always taught, you just respect your elders. The children today just don't see that. They over here calling grown ass men, young girls, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And I'm like, wow, that's amazing to me. The level of disrespect. And then you can't even discipline these children when they're out of line and out of order. I would never be a teacher. There is no way in hell in this society I could ever teach someone else's children, because what I have found out just in nursing, when I'm dealing with children, patients and things of that nature, the parents are worse sometimes than the child themselves. The child could be throwing a temper tantrum because I want my medicine, I want this, I want that. And you tell them, look, it ain't time for you to get that yet. You know what I'm saying? You can't get it yet. And then when you talk to the parent throws a temper tantrum just like the child. So they learn the behavior from the parents. Gone are the days where parents teach their children, you're going to respect your teachers. You're going to listen to them. If they ain't telling you nothing wrong, you're going to do as you're told. You're going to listen to them. They're the authority that and that I'm putting you under. You're going to respect them and you're going to listen to them. Well, this young lady in school was being disruptive in class, like a lot of kids today. They're over talking to teachers, not listening, short attention spans, things of that nature. And teachers are just fed up with these children. And this little girl decided that she was going to misbehave. So the teacher took her cell phone away from her, as she should. Because what I'm understanding is that children are allowed to have cell phones, but they're only able to use them, when it's break time, or they're on some kind of break, or if it's an emergency of some sort. But they are allowed to have their cell phones, but they're not supposed to be on their cell phones during class time when they're supposed to be learning, listening to the teacher. They're not supposed to be on their phones being disruptive. Well, this teacher, doing the right thing, took the phone from this child. And of course, she's going to give the phone back to the child at the end of the class or the end of the day, whatever the situation. Well, this child had a problem with that. And so you didn't take nobody else's phone. You took my phone, but you didn't take anybody else's phone. She actually swung on the teacher, y'all. She swung on the teacher and hit the teacher. Now, we can argue this all day long where, you don't hit no child and you're the adult, and you can say all this shit till the cows come home. But the reality is, I'm for the teacher, because it's high time somebody whooped that little motherfucker's ass, because she was out of line, out of order, and she needed some kind of discipline. That's the problem with these children today. There's no discipline at all. And as a parent, if you discipline your child, your ass might get in trouble. You might go to jail. CPS might be called on you. So you got to jump around your own damn children. All children have to do is go to school and say, my mama hit me, my daddy hit me, and CPS will be at your door. Believe that. They will be right at your door. But everybody knows that CPS is wicked, crooked. A lot of prostitution, a lot of rape goes on within CPS. A lot of the workers that work for CPS are crooked as fuck. Over here trying to get the children to prostitute themselves and doing all kind of horrible things. Everybody knows you 9 times out of 10 are going to be raped and molested, having to go through the system like this as a child. But these are the people that are supposed to be protecting you from your parents, from abusive adults and things of that nature. These are the same people that's supposed to be protecting you. So gone are the days where we have structure, where we have discipline, because children are just out of order, totally out of order, cursing out teachers, going off, fighting each other. Just, not too long ago, they had one substitute teacher that was over here egging on a fight, egging the damn thing on. Now, I don't condone any of that kind of shit. You don't egg on children to fight. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? You don't do shit like that, especially if you're a professional, you're a teacher, and you doing that kind of stuff. But no teacher should have to go to school to be beat up by a student and not be able to defend themselves. Now, they tell you that you can use reasonable restraint. When a student is acting up, you have to get, physical with them. If you need to, put them down or put your weight on them, they say that's okay. But the reality is, if you do that, you still might get fired. You still might get in trouble. You still might go to jail. You still might get sued. All these things. You have teachers not knowing what to do. You had one teacher who just put a lawsuit out because she was shot by a elementary school kid. This teacher went to the channels, the proper channels, to say, hey, this child is dangerous. This child is dangerous. It was ignored. It was overlooked. The teacher didn't have any rights whatsoever. Didn't have any rights at all. What's going on, Fry Time? You know, this teacher didn't have no damn rights. She did what she was supposed to do by going to the chain of commands, and this child was still able to sneak out of his house and to bring a gun to school. That child was able to do that. That's crazy to me. How the mother allowed this child to endanger not only himself, but other students, teachers, and this teacher now has a big lawsuit. You know, teachers are frustrated and tired. You know, when you can't defend yourself, it's time to get out of that profession. It's time to get out of, because I'm not into you know, just beating up on children, you know, cursing out children. I'm not into any of those things. But I will say this. Depending on the child, sometimes you got to get down on their level and you got to talk to them just like that. See, people don't understand sometimes when you talking to certain children and you tell them, look, goddamn it, I told you to get your ass over there and go sit your ass down and don't move no more. Don't move again. Sit your ass down and just be still. Now you have other parents who say, well, that's harsh and you should not talk that way to a child. Well, you have some children that you can say, all right, I want you to sit down, don't move, you know, just be a good kid and don't move. And they will do just that. They will sit there and they will be good. You don't have to talk to them crazy. You don't have to yell at them. You don't have to go off on them. But some children, you got to cuss their little asses out. And you have to get down on their level so that they can understand that you mean business, that you're serious about what you are saying. So that ain't abuse. And I'm going to tell you something else. What I saw, when I saw the video of this teacher, because you can't play the video because, you know, that'll be a copyright strike and all that kind of shit. YouTube is on a rampage right now with striking people left and right, you know. But I'm going to tell you flat out, I didn't see nothing wrong with what the teacher did. You know, if you just want to be politically correct, you can say, yeah, she was wrong for, you know, for hitting the kid back and all that kind of stuff. But that child needed their ass whooped. The mama obviously ain't whooping the child's ass and disciplining the child. That child needed her ass whooped. And from the looks of it, that teacher wasn't giving that child any more, you know, wasn't being that rough with the child. Because that teacher could have really hurt that child. She didn't even close her fist. She was just smacking her ass to snap some sense into her ass. Like, you little motherfucker, I told you you ain't gonna get this phone. Now go sit your ass down, but now you want to try to rough me up. No, we ain't doing that. So she returned the blows that little girl was giving her. I think it was justified. I don't see nothing wrong with what that teacher did. When you look at that video and you see how that teacher was saying, all right, go on now, little girl, go sit down. And you can hear this little girl getting riled up, getting agitated, getting antsy, getting pissed off. Well, you didn't take anybody else's phone. I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Press that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. But she's pissed off. Give me my damn phone back. And she swung on this teacher. See, the problem is that people that do wrong are always protected. They get protected instead of being shamed. This is why I'm all for bringing shame back. Bring it back to put people in their damn place, to make them feel some kind of shame. Because that little girl needs to feel some shame. Like, you actually flipped out on that teacher over a damn phone. Hell, when I was growing up, we didn't have cell phones. I know that's hard to believe, but we didn't have cell phones growing up like that. You know, when I was a teenager, we had pagers. I know some of y'all probably know what those are. You know, pagers where you can beep. Sometimes you can have a little voicemail on there, and people can leave you a voicemail, and you can go check your messages, and and then you'll see their number pop up and shit like that. It was, those kind of came in real quick, and then they went out. And the cell phones just came out and just exploded. But we didn't have cell phones back then. We didn't have something that we can attach ourselves to and have a nervous breakdown if we don't have it. We didn't have none of that kind of shit. So to see these children today have nervous breakdowns on serious medication because they don't know how to cope and they don't know how to deal with reality, they don't know how to deal with life. And we keep lying to them. We keep lying to these damn kids and lying to people, when we need to start bringing back ass whoopings, shame, discipline. And I don't care what nobody say, but fathers are different when it comes to discipline and talking to their children and how they handle situations. It ain't gonna necessarily be politically correct how a father handles the situation. But statistically speaking, I will say this, and this is statistics from CDC. When you have a child that comes from, two-parent household, their outcome is much, much better. When you have a child who just comes from a single mother household, the outcome is more than likely going to be bad. Now, of course, there are always exceptions, to every rule and everything. But for the most part, a lot of times the children come out worse. But when a single father raises children, it's just like having two parents in the home. Go figure. This is statistics from the CDC, y'all. Yeah, so when and that, and which is amazing to me, but it makes perfect sense because men are logical, and although we need emotion from time to time, we need that aspect of it, but we need more logic than anything. And how to fix problems, how to solve problems, not just explode and get all emotional and start screaming and yelling and cursing and throwing temper tantrums and shit like that. We can't be doing all that. We need to learn, go find a problem and fix it, but our children today are throwing temper tantrums, short attention span, glued to these phones, and don't know how to act when you take the damn phone away from them. This is crazy. But it's high time that we start standing up for some of these teachers, because in a minute, we ain't gonna have no more teachers. But personally, I think parents should homeschool their children. Honestly, especially if you're a black child, you have a black child, you should not be sending your child to a school. That's my personal opinion. I don't think you should be sending no black child off to a public school, personally. I just don't. I think that you should be teaching and training your child. And even if you do send your child to a public school, you as the parent, it is your job to not only discipline your child, but to instill values in them and tell them what's real. Tell them about their history. Tell them about their ancestors. Tell them about their enemies and the people that they have around them and the agendas that they're trying to put off on your children. Very important. You have to stay in your children's ear, because your children are going to be influenced by different people. That's just going to happen, especially when they're out and about and you don't have access to them for hours at a time. They're going to be influenced by different people. So you as a parent, you have to stay in that brain. You have to stay in there and teach them. But personally, I don't think that no black child should be going to a public school. Personally, I think that they should be homeschooled, or we should have private schools available for our children. Personally, that's just my personal opinion and what I think, But I need you guys to go ahead and just tell me what you think about this particular situation. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, press that thumbs up. And, you know, we have to get back to disciplining our children, you know, and not be afraid of the consequences and the government and all these type of things. Because here's the thing, when we all are on one accord and we all say the same thing, what the government gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna do nothing. Thank you, Fried Time. I appreciate that, brother. But I'm gonna get up out of here, and I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful day. It is 4:20. If you smoke, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Have a drink, and enjoy your day. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your loved ones. And I'll see you all on the next video. Peace out.